You're watching H&L. I'm Ursula and this is the show where we help you to build your confident voice. And today's confident guest is Danita Da Costa, a strategy consultant with a focus on marketing. And we're going to speak to Danita about building your confident voice in the workplace. Welcome, Danita.
Thank you, Ursula. It's great to be here.
It is such an honor to have you here. We've known each other for years. We come back a very long way, and we love speaking to each other in our personal conversations about confidence in the workplace.
Yeah.
So we're going to learn a lot from you today, but I want to first find out, can you tell us how you have found your confident voice in your area of specialization?
Sure. So I think the first thing for me is I studied hard. I spent a lot of time studying, and that helped me build my confidence, both because I was familiar with the type of work and learned how to think differently, but also just a lot of presentations, a lot of engaging with different people, and that really made a huge difference, because one of the most difficult things I think about the workplace is making sure that you can engage with a wide variety of people, and both through studying and through other activities. I know you from church, and I've always been very involved, and in that forum I was able to engage with people across different ages, different races, genders, a wide variety of people, and that really also helped me build my confidence, because it's about being able to chat to different people.
And I think that's really where you also built a lot of your leadership skills. I want us to go back to the church aspect, because you headed up a young adult group there, and it had so many dimensions, and you were delegating and running all these things. Do you want to give us some just insight to what you learned from that process?
Sure. So I was there for a decade. It kind of flew by. It happened by accident. I got roped in by accident, and I just loved it. I think some of my biggest learnings were, like I said, talking to a wide variety of people, and talking to some really shy people, because some people were curious to learn more about their faith but didn't quite know how to get started and get involved. So it was about being comfortable walking up to random strangers who you could see were kind of interested but didn't quite want to make the first step. So walking up to them and sort of saying hi and making them feel welcome, I think, was one of the most important things. I did have a chuckle the other day. I was watching the next generation doing the same thing, and at sort of 18, 19, it was always very nerve-wracking asking someone for their number. And I had a chuckle because I was watching them, and you get into this groove where you just walk up to a random person, you don't know them, from a bar of soap, and ask for their number. And even that, just having that confidence to say to someone, sure, let me take your number so I can send you updates on the group. And it's such a funny example.
And I think it's such an amazing skill. I'm an introvert, and I know you from church, but I used to go in and then quickly go out. And just that person asking for your number and getting involved just opened so many other relationships. So that all started with you. So I want to know, so as you said that things happen in your life coincidentally, I actually once invited you to a party, you met somebody, and boom, you got a job at Accenture. So tell us a little bit about how you started getting your work there at Accenture, and maybe ways and limitations you had to overcome.
Sure. So I ended up saying sure a heck of a lot today. I think that was actually a really funny experience, because I had taken a sabbatical, as you know. I'd taken some time off. I needed to reevaluate what I wanted to do, because I'd gotten into a very niche environment, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to stay in that niche or whether I wanted to evolve into something different.
Can I quickly ask, how long was this sabbatical?
So the sabbatical was a year, one of the best decisions I ever made, and amazing for just learning more about myself, and doing some travel and exploring and doing random courses. I did a course in property development and management, for example, because why not? So I went to this party, and I was still in very much a space of, I've still got some time before I actually want to think about heading back to work. But I just started chatting to someone that I'd never met before, and I was nerding out about Excel, because that's my happy space.
Excel is Danita's happy space.
And I was chatting, and another friend of ours, Alex, walked up to me, and she was like, Danita, I cannot believe that you're sitting at a birthday party discussing Excel. And I was like, And no, but it's been almost a year. I haven't had a chance to geek out about it with anyone. And so we were having this fat chat, and at the end of it, Jean looked at me and said, well, you're going to send me your CV, right? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Because that hadn't been my intention. And then I went home and I thought about it for a while, and then I sent you a message. I said, please, can you just get me his contact details so I can send him my CV? And I sent him my CV, and within less than a month, I had a job offer. I'd been through all the interviews and had a job offer, and I was really surprised. And I went to work for this company because of that engagement with someone who, it was an authentic conversation. He was confident talking about his work, but I was also confident enough to geek out about Excel at a birthday party.
Isn't that the beauty of specializing in something, sharing it with somebody? And also the magic of this story, which I have to share, is that you were the only English person. It was a whole bunch of Afrikaans people. You were in a very uncomfortable situation, but because you've had so much practice with people, that's why it was more comfortable.
Yeah.
And because I know the story, I can bring these parts out. There's another critical aspect to the story. Is where Accenture, they said, okay, here's the job, we want you to start immediately. Which any person, when you get that dream job, you're like, okay, yes. What did you do?
I said no. I had said to myself, I'm taking a year, and I still had a month before my year was up, and so I said to them, thank you, I'm really excited to have this offer. It's a wonderful offer, and I was really excited about this path that had opened up in front of me unexpectedly. But I knew that I had promised myself a year, and I promised myself one last thing. I had wanted, right from the start, I'd wanted to go to Portugal. I had never been, and it was something, being Portuguese, I was like, I have to go and see Portugal. And so I said to them, no, let me start on the 1st of June instead of the 1st of May. And so off I went to Portugal with my mum, had a wonderful trip, came back and started on the 1st of June. But I think for me, the surprise, and probably what you were looking for, was it was a little bit weird to have this amazing offer and say, thanks, but I'm going to do this on my terms. And they were amazing at accepting it. They said, we'd love to have you sooner, but we understand. And it was just about me having the courage to ask.
I think that's such a valuable story in building your confident voice, not having that desperate energy, but just being honest and asking. So we'll see you after the break to explore more about having confidence in the workplace.